Okay. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Lane Yappers. Today, we're going to be recapping the Miami Grand Prix as well as our first race experience on the track. I'm Lex.
I'm Mox.
I'm Haley.
I'm Tay.
I'm Rosie. And I'm Reagan.
We need to put a disclaimer out there.
Just to note,
Half
everybody,
of us are deathly ill.
I've been dying since Miami.
She has. I almost thought she was gonna die in my living room.
I didn't know if she was gonna
but
make
she
it.
didn't. So cheer.
I didn't. I made it. I made it home.
And before we get into the episode, we want to give a shout out to our dear friend of the podcast, Abby Poling,
Yes.
for being the first ever female British F4 winner.
Yep.
Let's go, Abby.
Friend of the pod. Friend of the pod.
Real quick, shout out to first Alex, for doing a little video for us at the Duracell Home Depot meet and greet.
Wild
should not be
title.
together.
Wild title.
Incredible.
Thank you, Duracell.
Thank
I've
you.
never doubted you a day, Duracell. I am your number one fan.
She loves that battery.
really
I love
is.
that battery.
She wanted that battery on that car so
Yes.
bad.
And I got it.
And then shout out Jack Doohan for doing
Being
also
Jack
a
Doohan.
little being Jack Doohan and doing a little
Incredible.
video for us at the
Thanks, Jack, for mocking me.
Yeah.
so
Rosie
yeah.
putting on a shirt in the midst of the recording. I
She's
look
gonna let us know who she gets.
Oh my god.
So yeah, shout out
Speaking
them.
of Australians.
Speaking of Australia.
Oh, another shout out, our shirts.
Yes.
All right.
Anyways, okay.
FP1.
I have two notable notes.
I have Charles in the wall.
That is note number one.
Because I will never forget, Haley and I were sitting on the place we were sitting, and I was
We
like,
saw
yellow
the
flag, yellow flag.
yeah.
And Haley went, it's a Ferrari. I went, it's probably Charles.
And then you could see the rear wing where it had the 16 and she went, whoop!
Charles does not like Miami, and Miami does not like Charles.
I want to shout out the video that I have when I see the yellow flag and I'm filming and I go, everybody slow down. Logan passes us and I yell, Logan, don't crash.
Oh.
Oh,
Our
no.
I also have
reactions to
the
it are
live
so
reactions.
funny.
Of both Tay and I's faces of just, like, I went like this. I was like, oh, it's actually serious.
But-
Yeah, he stayed in the middle for quite a while.
I just
the video of
Lewis
Lewis.
passing him.
I was like, that's crazy.
What do I
like,
do?
this is my new teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, God damn.
All I know is like he actually couldn't have crashed in a worse spot.
Yeah.
That
couldn't
place
get
on
to
the
him,
yeah.
simulator took me out every time.
Every place on the simulator took
Thanks,
me out.
Williams fans.
In FP1, during the Charles crash, I don't know if it was real or not, but his radio of just getting completely ghosted.
Yeah, no, that was
Hello?
real.
That's
real.
when they
He's just
decided
like,
to fire
"Hello?"
Zabi. That's when they
No one
decided to
answered
fire
him.
Zabi.
What do I do?
He said, Javi out, somebody else in. Also, another note during FP1, that was the start of it all, of Max not seeming the most comfortable in the car.
Mhm.
Granted, he's still placing, winning the sprint, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah.
nothing bad. He's like, ugh,
Lol.
I don't know what's
I
happening to
think-
everyone else
well-
because this car is trash. Like, what?
Miami last year too. It was just the same. He was not doing well, and then he placed
Maybe
so
he
well,
just
and everyone's
doesn't like Miami.
Tracks.
yeah, I think he just doesn't like
At
Miami.
tracks.
He said, you
Half
guys
the
are sending
grid.
to Florida? Okay.
Anyways, sprint quali.
I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, I had a really good hot dog during sprint.
Sprint
It's
quality.
not sprint. It's sprint quali.
Oscar qualified 6th, which he came in sprint, so. And then he qualified 6th again.
Are we gonna talk about Daniel Ricciardo?
Daniel.
No.
Oh,
Okay, next topic.
See, I'm all for one for
Daniel
giving flowers
did
when they're
really
due.
well.
Daniel
Yeah.
did
Daniel,
super well.
yeah, he really this
He
weekend was
outqualified
his
Yuki.
weekend.
I don't
Can
know
we
about
talk
that one.
about the
Let's
V
talk
carb
about
livery?
the race. Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
we-
yeah, shout out
Every
V
time
Car
that went
The
by,
V-carb
for
we were
actually
like,
was
doing
beautiful.
a special livery.
Also,
fuck
Every
everybody
time on
else.
track was
also,
so
can I
beautiful.
just say the Ferrari livery did not
It
look
was
bad
ugly.
when they were going boom, boom, boom. I just saw it.
I liked it. It was ugly. I'm sorry.
No, listen, I thought it was ugly too, and then I saw it in person. I went, it's not that bad. I literally asked Haley. I went, Haley, it doesn't look that bad when it's
Yeah.
going this fast.
It's like when you squint and you tilt your head and you step back.
You have to close
It's
your
going
eyes and
so
look.
It's going
It's
so fast.
giving Alpine livery reveal.
Exactly.
Okay, but sprint quali.
Can I be honest?
What happened
I was
between
doing-
Valtteri and Oscar?
I don't know.
Oscar was going. Valtteri super late on the brake, or super late, completely almost turned into Oscar. And Valtteri's like, oh, it was too late. And his new engineer, because mind you, he has a new race engineer
Yeah.
that weekend, didn't tell him.
No.
That's on him.
Yeah.
He's just jealous.
That's not on Valtteri.
He's
That's
just trying
not
to
his
take
race
out.
engineer.
But they gave him a new race engineer without telling
Telling
him.
him.
And they have no relationship.
Yeah.
Imagine
all.
that. You hop in the car, and then the
There's
one
like
person
Charles
that's supposed to direct
in
you
a
for your
Mola.
life, and it's just like, who the fuck are you?
That's gonna be
You're going
Charles.
200 miles an hour, and someone you don't know goes,
It's a
"Hey,"
voice that
and
jump
you're like,
scares you.
"What?"
You're like, pardon?
Can we talk about how I'm gonna give credit to Oscar and Rosie? Let me speak, okay? Oscar didn't have the upgrades, and he kept up with Lando.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that really
Oscar was
shows.
killing it through the
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
Good. This
That's
is
what I
good.
have for
She's
sprint.
like,
Both Mercedes
No
were
notes.
out in SQ2.
Yep.
Mercedes
Oh,
were having a bad weekend. Lando was cooking in sprint quali until they put him on
Yeah.
softs for
Yeah.
SQ3.
Mm-hmm.
And he was setting the faster lap times. If he had competed, or if he put up his SQ2 lap time in SQ3, would have had
Mhm.
pole.
Those
Even
the
softs
softs
are not.
were
was
no
saying
bueno.
that Charles
guys, I
was
have to
like
say it.
saw his qualifying times and was like, "Oh,
I have to say it. Lando
Somebody
on
get ready
pole
to mute
position is never a good thing. Either he takes
Oh,
himself
real.
out or somebody takes him out.
Real.
Like he never succeeds when he's in
Actually,
pole position. So I go,
sprint quali."
please don't get on pole position, Lando. Please do not. Second, third, fine. Just not first.
real.
His SQ2 time was faster than Max's pole time.
Mhm.
So if
Then
he like the
softs are
tire
not a
situation
grade.
was figured out, he could have
The girls
Yeah.
next to us were like,
And-
why is he back on mediums for the sprint?
sprint
And
quali.
I turned over and I went,
Stroll
because
Did you
he's more
watch
comfortable.
quali?
Alonso.
okay, Alonso was struggling this weekend, okay?
That's
He
a
was too
good thing
distracted
for
by
you, Max. That's why.
Exactly. Speaking of me,
Oh God.
I think it was after sprint quali, I screamed so loud, I was louder than his car.
Yeah.
He literally went,
In his car while driving. Did a double take.
He said, that's the first
he went,
He said,
in all
"What?"
my years. I just want to know, when I was doing the rewatch, because I didn't catch this when we were on track, but apparently there was an entire investigation regarding Hamilton when he came into the pits and his team
yeah.
didn't have helmets on. What do you mean you don't have helmets on?
What?
What do you mean? You're supposed to have helmets on the whole time.
Welcome
You sit
to
there with your stupid
Mercedes.
little helmets on.
Like,
Welcome to
Hamilton,
Mercedes.
the Hamilton Mercedes dynamics going on right now. Sitcom level.
They're
Like, what do
falling
you
apart.
mean?
Why would you not have a helmet on? None of you. It's like I can understand
Why
if
would
one
they?
person, but like every person just didn't put their helmets on. Why? For what?
Okay, next day, so Saturday, the sprint. I don't want to talk about the sprint, so
I don't wanna
somebody
talk
else
about
can
the
talk
sprint.
about it. I don't want to
me,
talk about it
me,
in another
me.
way.
Me.
Yeah, you.
Logan
Yeah, go
Sargent
ahead.
finished in the top Williams position of all the season. P10.
And
And
if
if it had
would've
been a
been-
real race, he would have had a point.
Woo.
Granted, yes, there were penalties, but who cares? If 19 cars DNF, you're P1.
Do you know that? Do you know that we were all waiting, and I was like, and it was the yellow flag, and Lando was taken out. Haley went right at me, and I went, "It wasn't Stroll, it was Hamilton."
I was immediately like, "You're dead." I was like, "You're going on the track."
Hamilton
You're
didn't
still
turn.
dead to me. Just saying. Because
It was
ultimately-
Lewis
I
and the
almost passed
Astons.
out. So
ultimately the Astons hit Lando. So
okay,
Yeah.
can I just tell you, the Aston Martin garage was doing pit practice with Fernando Alonso because they had no hope.
He was so far behind. We had a whole conversation before he came by.
Can
I
I
was
be
like, he did
honest?
not drive by.
I didn't know Stroll retired until I rewatched it yesterday.
Yeah, they were.
Because like I knew Lando was out. I have a video
were a
and
little
photo
too
reactions of
stressed.
Reagan and Tay.
I know.
Just
I
like,
was just gonna say
"Oh."
the reaction.
I have a video and you can hear me go, "Where's Lando?" And the next thing you hear is a commentator go, "And Norris is out of the race." And I go, "No!"
Haley, we went, "Oh my God, yellow flag. What is it? Who is it?" I went, "It's probably a Ferrari. Sorry, but it's probably a Ferrari." And then it was an orange car, and I went, "Oh no, oh no!" And Haley went,
In that moment, I was
sat. I was
so
done.
worried for the rest of the weekend. I was like,
It was
in my
too-
heart, I was like, this is how the rest of the weekend is gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm gonna be happy that I'm here, but I'm gonna be mad. Like,
Can I just say that yes, Lewis did not, whatever, but the Astons were already very close to each other, so I'd like to know what they were doing.
They're
"Bro, I would too.
they're
I
best
would like
friends.
to do that too."
Because if there was a little room, I don't know if there would have been that much of a crash. But
Okay, well, because Fernando was on the inside, it's not his fault. Fernando's innocent.
Fernando's radio was just like, Hamilton came in like a bull. And I'm like, oh, Lord God. It's over.
All I know is that literally Margot tweeted going, "Aston Martin's doing pit stop practices," and I literally DM'd him. I go, "Please tell me you're joking." He's like, "No, they literally said come into pits for practice."
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Fernando was right, though. Fernando was right saying that he only got penalized, and they were like, "Do you think Lewis Hamilton will get a penalty?" And he's like, "No, he's British."
On that note, just
you say
diffusing
that.
this,
You
diffusing
say that.
this. Hamilton not getting penalized, any kind of infringement, no further investigation on that entire thing is insane. When Lando was getting investigated for walking on track, getting out of his car.
Where was he supposed
okay.
to go? Where
I
was
tell
he
you,
supposed to go?
He was supposed to wait for the freaking
No.
truck. I agree with Lando being penalized for that.
He had to just stand on the track and wait
He
for.
was staying in his car.
No, his car got.
Everybody else has been penalized for it.
Okay, Hamilton had a very eventful sprint.
Mm-hmm.
First, it was the contact, and then second was his entire race fight with K-Mag. And I have a
With
bone
Haas
to
in
pick with
general.
K-Mag, but we'll get there when
I
we talk
forgot
about the race.
K-Mag.
But Lewis and K-Mag were fighting non-stop. And you know who won? Yuki Tsunoda.
Yes. No, can I
K-Mag
tell
ended
you
up
right now?
with 25 seconds worth of penalties during a sprint race.
Like,
What happened?
Can I tell you that
about how
K-Mag?
deeply serious Lewis was. He was like, yeah, that was pretty cool of him. He does not give a fuck.
K-Mag, can I tell you that I was getting notifications and I went, K-Mag just got a 10-second penalty, and everyone's like, what? And I go, K-Mag just got another 10-second penalty. They're like, huh?
Listen, I've got a bone to pick with Kevin Magnussen.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But
We'll
while
get there.
we're here, because he was, again, defending Nico, K-Mag is a team player. He forgets, but he learns how to act. When Nico Hulkenberg is in front of him in threat for getting points, he will put himself at risk, and I guess that makes him a good team player. But he better hope I never catch him in the street. Also, to bring up my beef with Kevin Magnussen, during the entire Hamilton K-Mag Yuki winning situation, one of the commentators during the sprint, as I was rewatching, said he wasn't plowing into the side of other drivers. Who's gonna tell that commentator what happens the day after?
I'm excited for you.
Daniel's reaction on the radio with his finish was actually really nice.
That was cute.
Key.
No, he was barking.
Yeah, he was
He
barking.
He was barking and growling on the radio.
Yeah.
And like his engineers was like, yeah, oi, oi, oi. And Daniel just goes like, rah, rah. And I'm like,
Yeah. Ooh.
okay. Do I have any more notes for sprint before we head to quali? No. It was my one note is Ocon versus Alonso for a non-point position.
Yeah.
Because every time they would pass, I'd be like, oh, Alonso's in front. Oh no, Esteban overtook. Oh, Alonso's back.
Yeah, like
Can I
it's
just tell
14.
you
Can we chill?
he was above Esteban Ocon. I was like, okay, we're getting back in the game. And then he pit for 30 seconds. And I was like, what are they doing? I went, Haley, check that little app. Check that little app.
Yeah,
Is he DNFing? What is happening? And then I heard the tweet was they're doing pit practice.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Next
Fernando
sprint,
had a point saying, I don't give a fuck about the sprints.
Yeah, he literally said, I'm not doing the sprints anymore. I don't care.
anyways, quali.
Before the cars were even
As
out.
president
Oh.
of 1681 Nation, I was having a good time.
Yeah, I know. I was not. I was about to be murdered
No,
by
she was
you.
stressed.
I was like, Oscar, please,
That was
go
me during
slower.
the race.
Please go slower. Oscar, slow down. Oscar. And
And
There's
then
he
not.
got
a
out,
minute
and I
of
was
the
like, oh,
race,
thank
I'm just
God.
like, oh, this is such a rosy-coated podium. We're doomed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it
And
wasn't.
then-
I don't really have much about quali other than a Haas in Q3. And guess what? Not an Aston Martin.
I don't have a ton
Logan
about
was
quali
really
other
hard on
than-
himself on the radios, and it made me cry.
Yeah.
He did not start P20.
He did
Woo!
not.
He
But-
was faster than Alex.
Yeah.
Pretty much all weekend
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
until
The race.
Anyways,
race.
there's a
that's
note
good
that I
segue.
have. Hold
Yeah, or not.
on. I had a
Ugh.
note just before the cars were even on track. They're like lining up. You know how they
Oh,
all
yeah.
get to queue in the pit lane. Joe juts himself out as Danny's going. Danny hard brakes. Before he even gets on the radio, his engineer goes, "We're reporting it. We're reporting it. We're reporting it." And I'm like, "Oh my god, let Joe breathe." Danny
Oh
didn't
my
even process
God.
it, but they're like, "We saw and we're reporting it." God damn.
Joe did nothing wrong.
Okay, now to the race.
Segueing into the race. I
I think I blacked out.
don't.
No, same.
I think I was dreaming. Yeah, the race was looking like it was going to be a rosy-coated podium for a while.
I was nervous.
Wait. I would like to talk about the very start
No.
of the race, the opening. Yes, the
Let her speak,
opening.
let her speak.
Because Oscar went up 3 positions at the start of the race. He went up from 6th to 3rd, and he stayed in 3rd for ages. And then he went up to first, and he was again there for ages.
And trust me,
Um,
you were over
Actually,
there
he
going,
wasn't. I don't think he was.
"Oh,
He wasn't the
Oscar,
race leader for
yeah."
that long, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't
Yeah.
for that
Me-
long.
He
me
wasn't for that
Australia-
It
long.
was a long time for me. I was
was like 3
watching-
laps.
I was literally watching it like.
Me and the Australian dad sitting next to me that I made friends with were living. He was
Can I
great.
tell
I
you
had-
that
I had the radio up for on the McLaren app, and I was like, they just said this about Oscar. Like,
I FaceTimed Rosie and she was at work.
Yeah.
I answered that shit and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then because Charles was up there as well, I was having. I mean, was I slightly bitter? Yes.
Back to the race start. The Red Bulls.
Yeah. can
The
we talk
Red
about how
Bulls
Checo
almost had a
almost
terrible
Checo.
weekend.
Checo
Checo-
almost took him out.
Checo almost took them both out, and Max didn't realize until the cool down room and the face that he made. Oh, timeout. Sorry, I have to tweet about my mini helmet.
Oh.
The alarm went off. Okay. Proceed. Max's face during the cool down room. That didn't
There it
look like
is.
Max Verstappen.
Oh,
No, Max's face of-
Actually, in my notes, I have on lap 4, Oscar overtaking Charles, and then I randomly I have this, but I can't remember it at all. Is Checo defending against Lando on lap 14? That's it. That's the note I have, and I don't
Checo
remember
was
it
ticking me off.
whatsoever. And then underneath, I have Ferrari blue engineer suits are ugly.
They
I
were
actually
so
really
dumb
liked.
around.
I actually really liked the blue suits.
They were silly. I liked them, but
I
they were
did
silly.
like the blue suits.
They
Without
looked.
But
the
okay,
without
can I
the
tell
ugly
you?
HP logo.
Yeah. But can I tell you that so Checo was defending from Lando. Haley and I got that front row because it was on that straight
Yeah.
where the
We were
McLaren
like,
was faster than the Red Bull. They were like this close all the time, and Checo would just go, phoom, phoom, and I'm like, that's illegal.
Yeah.
But then I think it was like 6 or 7 seconds between Lando and Hamilton, and I was like, I cannot imagine a 28-second
It got
gap.
silent.
It was
between
so quiet.
We were like,
I was like,
where is he?
oh my lord, this
Can I
is
just say
embarrassing.
that seeing the gaps in real life
Ah.
is actually crazy
Insane.
because on the screen it doesn't seem like it's
That
that
far.
much, but then you see it in real life and you're like, well, there
like
goes
watching
Max.
my
I would
videos
count.
back of
I would
when
start counting.
Lando had like the 7 point whatever gap to
Mhm.
Max towards the end. Like watching the video back, like it's a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, it gets
Like,
So, like,
silent.
crazy.
Imagining
Shout out
the
to Will
20,
for giving us
30
those
seconds
updates.
ones.
Every time Lando grew the gap to Max, he would go,
It's
6.9 seconds! 7
That was
seconds!
literally
Wait,
me the
but-
whole time. I have a million
Okay,
pictures of every time
so-
he went like a 0.2 faster.
I just want a little background. The background is that we all agreed that if it's a podium we want, we're booking it. Haley and I
At
happen
lap
to be the
47,
closest.
Yeah.
Haley and I went lap 47, we're getting over there because literally all we had to do was cross a bridge and we'd be there.
Yep.
And then Lando was in front of Max, right?
Well,
No, right behind Max, and Max hit a cone, and I went, go. It
Yeah,
was
we
like
went,
lap 33, I went, go.
Well,
Because I was
We
like,
just
this
grabbed
is-
our shit.
we
This
gotta
is how we
backtrack to
go.
lap 28.
Yeah, we gotta backtrack.
I gotta backtrack to lap
before we get there.
28.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kevin Magnussen better hope
I
I
just-
never see him.
I was just
Can I
gonna breeze over that for you.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna talk about it.
Can I just
I'm
say
gonna talk
that
about it,
I
and there's gonna
saw-
be tears in my eyes.
Logan's radio.
Don't even get me started.
Heartbreaking.
Did I do something wrong?
And
It
then
was
his
not his fault.
engineer completely going, not your fault, not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong.
Mhm.
And like he bit his tongue. He goes, I bit my and the engineer's like, are you okay? He goes, I think so.
My dad and I literally looked at each other and we go, Lex. And I look down the row towards you and I just see you mouth, Kevin
That's
Magnussen,
right,
when
wait.
I catch you.
Wait, that's Kevin Magnussen. That was like warfare right there.
I would like to
I-
say that I saw the Haas on the thing and I said, "Oh, good, it's a Haas." And then it
And then they
panned over
cut.
and there was a Williams. And I said,
I
looked down
grabbed
Lex
Tay and I
was
went, it's a Haas. And then they cut to Logan's car and I lost my shit. I had to take a few laps to breathe and recoup. And after the crash for like a lap or two, and the commentators are like, Kevin Magnussen, penalty points, blah blah blah. I said, yeah, get him out of that seat permanently and give it to Ollie Behrman. Made the old man beside me cackle. And then I had to switch my mood like that because Mox and Haley texted Tay saying that there was room for the podium.
Yeah.
I had
Can
to
I-
put on like
We were
tear
already
stopped.
there by
I had to
lap
rip my
30.
flag
Yeah,
down
we were already
up,
there.
and we
Haley
ran.
and I- Haley and I
jumped from our seats.
texted and we're like, we're gonna go to the podium if it's a podium we want at lap 47. And
At lap
And
30, we were there.
at lap,
Rosie-
literally
Rosie
that
has
yellow
something to
card, I
say.
went, go. Yes, Rosie?
I would just say, as I was looking at my phone voting Oscar driver of the day, his front wing got taken out.
Yeah, well, if he turned, he wouldn't have been taken out.
I was like, it was all good. It was all good. He was like right up there fighting for positions. I looked down and I looked back up and I was like,
Yeah, well, if he turned, he wouldn't have that issue.
no,
Yeah.
actually,
didn't
that
turn.
was no. Listen, that was I had watched and rewatched every part of this.
She can't unmute herself, right?
I have watched and rewatched every.
Anyways, so
Anyways, Tay and I completely missed
And-
on
no,
track.
And
We
that was
missed all of that
earlier
drama
on.
because we were running to the podium.
I want to hear what she has to say.
I also would like to hear what she has to say.
Listen to me. Oscar not turning was earlier on than the contact. Okay.
yeah, well, if he turned,
So
Carlos
so-
would have been fully
so
on the race
his-
line.
His turning was when he pushed Carlos. Him not turning was when he pushed Carlos off the track.
He also
Not
was
when
supposed to
Carlos
give that
made not
position back. Yeah, and he
not
was
when
supposed to give that
Carlos
position
made
back.
contact.
He was supposed to give that
Actually,
position
the
back, and he didn't.
Listen, the contact was made, and Carlos was penalised for it,
I
and they
don't
gave him a
care.
lighter penalty because
Good.
they acknowledged.
Anyways,
Listen, as a fan of both of them, they were both acting stupid. Okay.
Anyways, yeah, Tay and I completely missed all the drama.
We
got to the podium and I saw Oscar drop down and go, what happened?
All I
No,
heard
do you
was
know that
Carlos.
Haley
listen,
and I
as we
did
were
too.
as we were walking over, I hear something Carlos and Oscar, and I looked to Lex and I said, "Oh no!"
Oh man.
As we were trying to run to the podium.
Do you know that we missed like the initial contact because we were literally turning around trying to find you guys, and I turned around and went, "Uh-oh."
Because he wasn't there anymore. We're like, oh.
I went, "Uh-oh."
And like the way that we could see the screen,
I
we
just
couldn't
say
see 19 or
also-
20.
No.
So we were just like, where'd he go?
Oscar did a really good recovery drive because he dropped so far down in the positions when he had to pit for his front wing to be changed. He
Yeah,
did
but
actually did a really good job of coming
He
back
did do a
up.
good job, but he also was getting really aggressive
Yeah.
and could have
Dude,
ruined
we
the
were
race.
Dying at
sorry.
the radio of
Yeah,
them
he
being just a
definitely
reminder,
could've.
Lando is in P1.
They were
We
like, "Can
don't
you
need another
tell?"
safety car.
Yeah. Also,
So while he
so
was doing a
podium,
great job
everyone
recovering,
around
he was
us-
going really
it
aggressive.
was the actual chaos. The podium was. I couldn't hear the radio, and it was like, "What are they telling Oscar? Does anybody know what they told
My mom
Oscar?"
was texting me updates and I was repeating them to everybody.
But also, can I tell you when Max hit that cone, I went, "Let's go, traffic cones!"
Why didn't they pit him for that? I don't understand.
He said
They
strong
didn't
front
think
wing.
they had anything.
yeah, but
But
like
then
really,
Alex ran over it
be so
and
for
almost
real.
caused a fucking safety car as Lando's leading. Everyone grabbed
I
each other
have
just
that
like, Alex,
literally.
God,
I
no.
have
You're
that
like, we
photo.
can't do.
Can I tell you that
I said,
every
Williams,
single
please don't do
Williams
this
fan
to
around
me.
us went,
Yeah.
I literally
because it was right after they told
my
Oscar
lock
they
screen.
literally
Sorry.
told Oscar not to fight
To
because
Phil,
the
yeah.
safety car would kill Lando's
Alex
race.
was in the
And then
back,
Alex
goes, whoop, paused
hit
up
the
by
wall and
and
was
I'm
like,
like,
No, I had my
Yeah.
lock screen as like the picture with Alex and Logan, and I literally pull up my phone and I swipe over. I go, if he messes this up for Lando, nope, no longer my lock
Done.
screen.
but then I will say, Alex saved it.
Yeah.
Alex
did.
saved it, and it was good.
It was
he
luckily
ended
that
up with
it was
floor
that,
damage.
that area of
Well,
the
But
track.
thankfully,
though.
they have another chassis just in case.
Finally.
Max watching the Logan crash in the cooldown room, and he was like, yeah, but they have another chassis, right?
Max
Messy.
Verstappen.
Messy.
Also, can I just tell you that everyone was like, "Oh, Max is giving it to Lando. Max is just." I was like, "Can I
Max
tell
was
you, he was
struggling.
not giving up until probably the last 3 laps, where he was
And
like,
then he was
"There's
like-
no way," because McLaren
Also,
had no
Max
damage
Verstappen
versus.
has never given anyone a win.
No.
Oh my god.
Also,
okay, can we just point out
we-
that? Oh, go ahead, Haley.
I was just gonna say we were like so violently sobbing. Like I don't think anyone who wasn't there can understand when I say sobbing. I mean like I was literally
I
like
almost threw
dry
up.
heaving. I was
I almost
choking
threw
down bile, and the old man in front of us had his camera up and he was filming us
He's
sob.
filming
And
us.
he went, "Can I take a picture of you guys?" And we were like,
The state we
Shout out
were
to the
in.
guys behind me in the stands because afterwards they tapped me on my shoulder and they were like, we just want to congratulate you specifically because we weren't sure you were going to make it to the end of the race. They were like, we were watching you the whole time because I couldn't sit still. I felt like I was going to
Okay.
throw up and I was just like, what do I do? What do I do?
I texted you. I was like, "Reagan, get to the podium." And you're like, "I don't want to miss anything."
"Yeah."
I literally no, because then I got
Jason
to run on
would've.
track and stuff. So like I will never forget the feeling of sprinting to watch the podium from the track because I had my flag with me, full dripped out McLaren Lando stuff, booking it, weaving through everybody, and everyone was cheering me on as I was running. And this one guy, vamos, vamos, and I was like, I'm going. And then I made it. And they were all like, yeah.
Speaking of the podium, can we talk about how Lando, first of all, when he got his first race win, he stood on the car and he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah," and he went to his team, but every single driver congratulated him.
Yum.
Max
Not one
waiting for
person in
him.
F1 that does not love that man.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my lord, can we talk about Fernando Alonso? Where I was talking to Haley and I was like, because
Beating the-
Fernando
Carlos
beat
just
the shit out of him.
He went boom, 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 and I dropped.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
full
It's like,
Alonso
yay,
there, I was like,
celebration, Fernando. Let me
"Ah!"
slap
Can we
you,
talk
silly.
about when they went to the post-race interviews and we thought it was Jensen Button and Max was like, it's Jensen Button! That was so funny.
Also,
I
when
need
Lex
Carlos.
said,
I need to
I
see
want,
Carlos.
I want Carlos, and then they cut, and she went, oh!
speaking of Carlos and Lando, though, you could tell the moment he realized Lando was going to be on that podium because literally everyone
He
around
sped
me
up.
in the grandstands were like, "Oh my God, Carlos wants to be on that podium with Lando so bad," because he
He
was
said-
closing that gap.
Well, did you
Did
see?
anyone hear
I
his
was with Haley.
radio? Did anyone hear Carlos's radio when the safety car came out?
Yeah.
They got on the
No.
radio and they said, okay, safety car. And he went,
Oh, I'm so
Lando's
unlucky.
leading? And they went, yeah. And he went, oh, he's going to win. Carlos did. Like,
Carlos,
way
no.
back on, like, lap
I'm gonna
33.
cry again.
I'm already.
But can I tell you that when I turned to Haley, no, I think it was you, Lex, and I went, Carlos is making that gap disappear.
Yeah.
was
And then
like,
he had
and
his
it was-
service penalty and then lost the position to begin with. But anyways, Rosie,
was
I
like-
thought about you for the first half of the race. I
I
said,
did too.
"Oof, this is a very
Rosie.
rosy-coated podium. We're doomed."
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody around us were like, yeah, Oscar, yeah, Charles, and I went, everybody here wants me dead. Are we done with the race? Because we can talk
Well,
about
I
our
think so.
experience.
Podium
I
celebrations.
have
It's
a
so
really
Rosie
weird,
has nuts.
no, I have a really weird
Lando,
note.
Lando.
I
Oscar
started a
fastest
chant.
lap.
I made it back to him, and I cried.
What
Oscar
Rosie said.
fastest lap. Oscar fastest lap.
Yeah,
Can I
but
just
I don't.
say
I don't
He may
understand
have
what
been in
kind of point.
19th when he got
he
it,
didn't.
but that's
he
okay.
didn't.
Oh, he
He
didn't?
didn't get a point. No.
So
they
that tweet was wrong.
they redid the tweet.
He
Okay.
finished 13th.
Yeah.
Still no
Okay,
point
Taylor
for fastest
Swift.
lap.
I just saying.
But Lando, that's
he
one
did
thing
so
though.
well.
Noticing Lando putting purples Tay and I were running to the podium. I would get a glimpse of the screen and it's just
Wait,
new
I
fastest
wrote
lap
down.
Lando, and I said,
Hold on.
Do you know that I was
He-
zooming in because I was waiting for Lando Norris, new race leader? I missed it, or it just never happened.
He got
No, it
fastest
happened.
lap,
I missed
lap
it.
25, lap
I missed
37,
it.
lap 38, lap 42. Were
that's
all
when
of
we were
his
running, and I'm
fastest
like,
laps.
what is going on?
Like, bro, no one is chill.
Nobody taking
we
it
were
from
so
me,
worried
bro.
he
Can we
was
talk
pushing
about?
too hard.
Hold on, wait. Can we talk about how the safety car picked up Max and not Lando?
That was so
That was
funny.
so
I'm so
confusing.
sorry.
Just muscle memory
Because
at this point.
It's like they're so used to just picking up Max that it came natural.
You
to
know
them.
Max had to
No,
be
because
confused. He was like,
That
am I
safety car,
leading?
Haley, I think it was the girls next to you, went, why is Max right behind the safety car? And then Lando went, boom, like flying by. And we're like, oh, they
They
just
forgot
were
him.
assuming it was
Yeah.
Max. Okay, let's talk about our experience.
Overall,
Everyone's passed out. That's my
everyone was
experience.
burnt and tired, but it was worth it.
You want to
Yeah.
talk about a burn?
I
Want to talk about a burn?
I got
My-
the craziest watch tan.
You want to talk about a
Yes.
burn?
I don't
Real.
have. You can't see it. The shoulder
I
tan
just
that I
wanna
have is
talk
You cannot
massive.
about
even see my face
the
peeling right now.
absolute
My-
marathon I went on to get to that F1 Academy paddock.
Yeah.
Like, I walked the whole length of the track to
Yeah.
get there, but it was worth it. I just want to shout out F1 Academy because they are doing everything right now. And having the open paddock for anyone to go in there was amazing. And all of the drivers were so sweet and so nice and so willing to talk to everybody about like anything. And it's just all run so smoothly, I think.
Yep.
So
Shout
Got
out
it.
to that frozen lemonade stand.
Yes. The frozen
And
lemonade
that
killed
hot
me.
dog stand.
Oh.
Okay, it saved everybody but Lex.
It killed me actually. I took one sip and it was too tart on my already hurting throat. I said,
No, not
And
the
so I took my
lemonade,
water
the
bottle.
frozen lemonade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the frozen
yeah.
lemonade.
our frozen lemonade was,
That was
so
too
tart.
tart.
Oh, ours was not.
Ours was
Do
so
you want to know what
tart.
was? Do you,
I
oh,
had
it
to
was
put
so
my
bad.
water into it
Yes,
to
Rosie.
dilute it.
I just want to say I did not experience anything, and I'm glad you all had a good time, but I'm gonna go and experience the sunshine because I'm not actually needed for this the podcast, and I don't know when I'm gonna see the sun again.
Really?
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
But God save the king.
Go
I don't need that.
photosynthesize, Rosie.
I don't need Lando merch because I'm British. So,
All
but
right.
anyway, yeah.
Go photosynthesize.
Go photosynthesize.
Yeah, I
Bye,
will.
Rosie.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Let me wipe my tears.
Let's talk about Friday. Friday was
Ugh.
chaos.
Oh,
didn't really know what was
waiting
going
in the pit, waiting in the parking lot line.
Oh god. Oh gosh. Okay,
Waiting
can I
in the
just say,
parking lot line.
so we were in the line for the parking lot, right? Because it
hadn't
was
opened yet.
it was like
I'll
what
have the video
10
if
10
anybody wants
15
Yeah,
10
we
14
got
10
there
15 or
early.
something like that. I don't know. We wanted to get there early because we wanted to get a good parking spot. So we're waiting in line, and I told everybody, I said, just watch out. You hear sirens, somebody's gonna pass, like a driver's gonna pass or whatever.
Mhm.
So we hear sirens, and I look back and
We're
I
all
see it's
breaking our necks.
motorcycles, and
Oh
I
my
said,
God.
everybody look right now. I said, everybody look right now. And we see a blue car. Can I just say that none of us clocked that it was a blue Ferrari?
I know. I went.
Until-
Who's in the driver's seat? Oh, it's just a girl.
Until the SUV
Oh, wait,
behind.
I think it's Charles. I think it's Charles.
And then next thing you know, I see it was his cousin, and I was like,
It's Carlos. It's Carlos. And we all went.
I have a selfie of the most unadulterated joy on my face, realizing it was Carlos. Hold
it's the
on.
fact that we didn't
I
clock
have
that
the
it was a
selfie
blue
picture of it.
Ferrari or anything. We saw his cousin in the seat, and that's how we clocked that it was Carlos.
My genuine reaction.
But that was
And then
interesting.
waiting for that gate to open. Oh Lord,
I
it
felt like
was
forever.
hot. That was hot.
Yeah. The first day was probably the worst out of it all.
Mm.
Because second day we got
I don't know about the second day and me.
no, I
The
mean for
second day was
waiting
the
for the
hottest for me
doors.
because of
For waiting for
walking
the doors.
Waiting for the
Oh,
doors
oh,
because
yeah.
first day
Not for me.
we had to wait like 15
Third
minutes.
day was the worst because we couldn't get
Oh.
in. I'm not gonna
Second
go
day
into
was
it.
nice because the doors were already open by the time we'd gotten there. They opened
Mhm.
it early. Third day, we had to wait a little bit. It wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. It was
Excuse
a
me.
little cloudier on the
Yeah.
last day, which was nice.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the race started, it became sunny. I was like, oh dang it.
Yeah.
We got shade around 4:00 on our
Yeah.
We
on our
didn't.
grandstand.
No, we
didn't.
had shade all morning and then none for the race, which was fine because we left. We ran.
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
Saturday was a nightmare. If you do GA, everybody, drink water.
Yeah. Listen, when the texts come through from that fun Miami Grand Prix
Listen,
to tell you to hydrate, hydrate.
Hydrate.
that water was not cold. And then, okay, also, I don't
It
know.
wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot. So like,
Yeah.
It was hot to me, but I think I was
Those
just
water
really
refill
already hot.
stations were
Yeah.
lifesavers.
I
were
made a
I
genius
had-
move of going to first aid in the
She
stadium and
did.
asking the person to because it was quiet. So I went in, it was air conditioned. I was like, "Ooh, it's nice." And I go, "Excuse me, can I refill my water here?" Just like their little water cooler that they have
Mhm.
in the office. And they're like, "Yeah, sure." Ice cold.
Ice
Stayed
cold.
ice cold for about like 2 hours. I said, "Thank God."
I love that.
I will
I
say,
went to buy a cold water bottle, and the guy was just like, "Here you go," and I
None
had
of
to
us
ask
could
a
open it.
random man. to
Why were
open
those
it.
so hard to open?
They were so hard to open.
And so the next
none of
day,
us
when I
could open
bought
them.
two, when I went to buy two for me and Haley, I went, "Can you open these for me?" And the girl was like, "Yeah, we're supposed to." And I went, "Oh, yesterday they didn't." And they go, "Was it a man?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they go, "Likely."
Yep.
Also, can we talk about, first of all, can we talk about when the sprint happened and I went to go get us frozen lemonade and I got cursed out by a Lando fan?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
I don't remember what, it was something like that. And I was like, it was
That would be-
Hamilton.
Would be me if I caught a Haas fan in my sight, but there weren't any. Sorry.
There were
had
in
a
the row
Haas fan.
behind.
We
there was
had
like
a
a
Haas
whole
fans.
family of them in the row in
Oh,
front
I
of
hope
me,
they
in the
heard
row
me
behind
then.
You guys.
I hope they
They
heard me.
probably did. They probably did.
Logan gave you a cute little baby jumper for your child, and you take him out in his home race. Start counting.
but
I'm coming.
Saturday wasn't too bad. We didn't really explore. Me and Lex didn't really explore until Sunday a little bit.
Yeah.
But I
We
do want
didn't
to point out
explore.
on Saturday is when one of the commentators made one of the really bad comments.
Yeah.
Not the first,
So
but
it's
probably
not
one of the
yeah.
worst.
Yeah, one of the worst. After Abby won, and obviously, of course, I tweeted about it, right? And it blew up.
Insert tweet here.
And then Laura Winter commented, replied, and she said that she was gonna escalate it or whatever. And then Sunday comes around, and I was like,
Sunday morning, we're on the
guys,
way. We're
yeah,
driving.
we're on the
mind
way.
you. We're in the car.
We're in the
We're
car.
eating croissants.
We're eating croissants. I tweeted before we left, and I was like, guys, how can I meet Laura Winter today? I just want to thank her and give her a little bracelet, right? She replies and says, I'll DM you. And then she follows me and DMs me.
Mind you, Tay was driving. She went,
Driving.
Guys, Laura Winter wants to meet us.
Me
She was
croissant in my
so
mouth. Oh my god.
I was literally standing
Also,
in
can we talk
Walmart
about
waiting for
Saturday?
you guys, and I just got a million texts. Reagan, Laura. I'm like, what do you mean, Laura?
Like, yeah, okay.
Also, on Saturday, so we went to meet Liam Lawson, right? And then I was like, guys, we have like about an hour and a half drive. There's no way we're making it to gate before gates open. Gates had just opened. Like I don't know. Tay was Max were stopping that weekend.
Yeah.
Because
Outraised Alex
listen,
Albon.
I outraced Alex Albon to his own
Yup.
event, because on Wednesday we went from the fan zone Q&A straight to a Home Depot
Yep.
that was normally without traffic like 30 minutes away, but I want to keep him. This is peak Florida rush hour
Yeah.
traffic time on 95 for any of my Florida listeners. Like, it is rough.
Yeah.
It took us an hour to get there, and I beat him
Also-
by like 5 minutes.
Can we
I
talk
was
about
watching
how?
the ETAs change, and Tay was killing it, and we beat
Can we
Alex
talk
there.
about- Can we talk about how I was like, I want to meet Jensen Button again on Friday. I was like, oh, it's too hot. We can't do it. He was an hour late because he went to the beach.
And they had to go send someone out to collect him.
That's funny.
You know
Real.
what? I respect the hustle. We could have made it, but we were just
Yeah.
so beat on
We were
Friday.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Friday
was
was
dying. I want to take a note though. The entire, because we had shown, or at least Haley Mox and I, sorry Reagan, we had shown up like for the entire week of festivities. I love the Williams fan zone, and I'm not saying that as just like a Williams girly through and through. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
obviously, but I think they're one of the only teams that did something like that
Mm-hmm.
Big.
involved for
Mhm.
fans the entire week. And it just goes to show, again, I will harp on this until I have no breath, but Williams truly does value their
Fans.
fans and the support that they get from their fans.
Also, can we
The-
talk about how they brought Will and his family into the
Yes.
garage? Like,
That was so
Yeah.
cute.
That's
For
such,
those,
like-
again, for the audience, Will is the child from the launch that they put in the car and they brought in because his name was William, blah, blah, blah. We befriended them
invited
at
them
launch.
To
That's
the
Friends
little
still.
brother.
We're friends of the family. And family is friends of the
Yes.
pod.
I also
But-
want to mention on the thing about the Williams being the best for fans or whatever. Obviously, I didn't get to go to the Williams fan zone at all because I came later in the week. But a few weeks back, I went to a Red Bull event in DC, and it was honestly one of the worst run events
Mhm.
I've been to, and that just made me further just based on the launch in New York and then what you guys said about the fan zone.
Yeah.
Williams
It
just
was-
does it so much better than everyone.
Yep.
I
Um,
would wish for more
I'll also
clarity for
say-
their meet and greets.
I was about to say
but-
that's the only critique I have is the clarity on the meet and greets, because I
Mhm.
heard nothing about when emails were supposed to be sent out, when the stuff
There
was
was no
like there
denial
wasn't.
emails.
Yeah.
I'm all for oh, you'll get emailed if you win. Please inform if you lose as well. So I'm
Yeah.
not
Or give
constantly
a
checking my
date,
email and crying.
or give a time of when you're gonna get the email, because then at
Mhm.
least if I'm checking my email at whatever time and I see that I don't have one, I know that I didn't win.
yeah.
Like, that's the only
But,
critique I have. But
The
Haley and I
experience
went
was
to the Lewis Hamilton thing at Total
Mhm.
Wine. Wild place to have it, but
It's
great
Insane.
snacks, according to Haley.
Great
Yeah.
snacks.
yeah.
Didn't get any,
Um,
but
But we like Lewis was there for maybe not even 5 minutes. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
not even 5 minutes. But his team, I don't know if they knew me. I don't know if they were just really nice. But they went, "Do you want a tote bag or do you want a t-shirt?" And I was like, "I'll take a tote bag." And I was like, "Oh shoot, maybe I should get a t-shirt for my dad because he loves Lewis." And she goes, "Just take both." She's like, "Shove it in your bag. Nobody'll know." And she gave me 2 tote bags and a t-shirt. And I was
How
like,
cute.
"Oh, yeah."
yep.
But,
I got a
like-
tote bag, a t-shirt. Yeah.
And nobody else around us had that.
No, they were giving them one. They were like, which do you
They were
want?
which one?
Yeah.
We also made it just in time. Because like
Yeah.
literally 2 people went in and then they closed the doors and they were like, no one else is
We were
getting
like,
in.
"Ooh." Yeah.
We got there right at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, our Uber driver was not speeding. That man was following the rules of the
Our
road.
Uber
Could it
driver.
be Tay?
Could it be me?
For the audience, I have permanent beef
With
Chevy
Tahoe.
Tahoes for the rest of my life.
I also just clarification, I drove the entire week and weekend.
Yeah.
So that is
And her car has
we're half of-
amazing mileage on the highway.
Yeah.
I only filled up
Also,
twice.
her car does not have air
air.
conditioning.
No, yeah.
So sorry,
we
I'm
were
gonna
all
fix it, don't
sticking our
worry.
heads out of the windows like dogs.
So
My
sorry
feet
about
out
that.
of the window after I
Defending
passed
ourselves.
out.
We're waiting to get out on Saturday, and Mox is just in the back seat like this, and she has like 6 Celsius cans in her shirt.
Just
Yeah, I told
for
everyone to
everybody
grab
who
'em.
wasn't there, like no one understands how close I was to like I was very close to passing
Yeah.
out. It was a nightmare. And I was stuck in the sun and everyone's like, we're going to the mall, we're going to Costco. I went, just put me somewhere.
I can't.
Just
Yeah,
put
she
me
was like,
somewhere.
she was like, if I can just go straight to the bathroom in the mall. I said, respectfully, we're going to my house.
Yeah, she said.
I was like, just put me somewhere.
We didn't need that hat or those hot dogs that bad to put your health at
No,
risk. We said we're
literally.
just gonna go to Tay's. And
I
Mom's
was like,
trying not to ruin it for everyone. Was just like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll lay on the floor. We're like, no.
guys, I have been in some situations. It's fine. I was like, it's fine. I could just lay in the bathroom.
We were like,
And you
no,
guys are like,
just go
respectfully, we're
home.
going to Taze. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. But
Ugh.
And then the
I
second we get into
also-
Tay's, Mox goes, I need to run my head under the sink. And we're like, yeah.
She went waterboarded
ahead.
herself.
Yes,
was
we're
I
ice
also want
cold.
to mention that Abby, nicest ever,
oh
and
no.
friend of the
She knows
pod.
us.
So she was not there when I had gotten to the paddock, and I should have gotten her name. I don't know what her role was with Abby's team, but she was so nice. She was like, "Are you like hoping to see Abby? Like, I don't know where she is right now." And I was like, "Yeah, I just wanted to like say hi because like she follows my friends and I's podcast." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, no way! Maybe I heard her talking about you before because she's talking about a podcast." I was like,
Huh.
"Oh."
My
And
stomach
she
started
was
to
like,
hurt.
"But she was like, that's so cute. She'll definitely be around in like a couple minutes if you just like, I'll vouch for you that you can stay here." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then she comes in and I was like talking to her and I was like, "I don't know if you know, but like you follow my friends and I's podcast," and didn't even get the name out before she was like, "Oh yeah, I followed you guys because you made me giggle." And I was like, "So
Abby,
Okay,
we love you, Abby.
if you're listening to this, love you.
Yeah.
Please come on.
thank you for doing the video."
What? There were 4 variations of hearts that I just saw. I did this. Reagan did
I
this.
did-
Mox did this.
I meant to do that.
She said
You could pull a Charles and do this.
there's the Korean.
Oh my god. Yeah. Abby, friend of the pod, won
Also,
both races this weekend
Also,
or last weekend. Incredible.
Jack Doin, the new friend of the pod.
Jack
Except
doing the real
Jack Doin, I've got beef with you because I know you saw everybody's stories and didn't follow anyone.
Yep. Jack said he'd follow us and didn't.
Yeah.
oh,
didn't see
putting
my
him on
story.
blast.
You know who did see my story?
Logan, Sargent.
Logan Sargent. I fell to my knees and screamed. I was
I'm
shaking.
crying again.
I was shaking. You know how I was sounding? For the audience, I sounded a lot worse than this.
Oh yeah.
You know when Lando does his like Muppet like type
Yeah.
sound? I sounded like that. I sounded
all she
like
could do.
Lando Norris the entire weekend.
The Miami GP experience was really fun, and
Mhm.
hopefully you'll see us at Coda this year.
I won't be there, but
Hopefully.
you'll see me at Silverstone.
Yeah.
I pray to God you see me at Coda. We're praying.
And next
Same,
week,
same.
hold on, next week is Imola.
Ah!
Both McLarens getting 100% upgrades.
I don't care.
And-
Sebastian Vettel.
Sebastian Vettel is
Vettel.
Senna's McLaren, so that's
so annoying.
so exciting.
Guys, I'm watching it. I'm watching it in New York City
Incredible.
with Lynn.
Incredible.
Yay.
I'm gonna be wearing my Aston Martin Sebastian Vettel
Good shout
hat.
out. Yep, incredible.
All right.
So look out for that one, Mox. We'll have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all still in recovery, but it was a great weekend.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So everyone, thank you so much for joining us on our wild weekend in Miami. Congratulations to Lando Norris for his first victory. A very important day for all of us. We're very happy to have been in the audience. Um, Praying for more, especially this season.
Yeah.
You've got the car. You figured it out.
Silverstone.
We're all on the mend. Hopefully, when you see us for our Imola recording, everyone's back to 100%. We're praying for that. Kevin Magnuson, you better pray I never catch you. And yeah,
Carlos
we
Sainz,
will,
I've got your back.
we will see you all when we recap Imola. Bye.
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 Bye.